What if I told you that some of the most famous horror movie villains were inspired by a real man from a quiet town in Wisconsin? A man whose life showed that the scariest monsters are human, and often hiding in plain sight. Ed Gein didn't just shock a small town in Wisconsin. He changed the way we think about fear. Before him, horror lived in castles, forests, and faraway places. Monsters were distant, fictional, safe. Ed Gein made horror personal. He showed that terror could exist quietly, in ordinary towns, behind ordinary doors. It wasn't supernatural, it was human. He grew up in isolation, under a controlling mother, and when she died, he withdrew further from the world. His obsessions and fears shaped a life that would later terrify the nation. The story of Ed Gein reached Hollywood quickly. Filmmakers realized that real-life terror could inspire unforgettable fiction. Characters like Norman Bates in Psycho came directly from Gein's life. A quiet man dominated by maternal influence, projecting fear and guilt onto those around him. Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre drew from the unsettling atmosphere of Gein's world, while Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs explored identity, obsession, and hidden darkness. These characters shared a common thread. They were human, terrifyingly human. They hid in plain sight. They blended into communities. They reminded audiences that the scariest monsters are often ordinary people. Gein's story also changed horror storytelling. It showed that psychological tension, obsession, and human darkness could be more frightening than any supernatural villain. It inspired writers and filmmakers to explore the mind behind the acts. Fear no longer came from distant lands. It came from the human psyche. Even decades later, his influence persists. Slasher films, psychological thrillers, and crime dramas continue to borrow from the ideas his life revealed. The quiet, ordinary person hiding extraordinary darkness remains central to modern horror. Ed Gein didn't invent monsters. He revealed them. He made us see that real terror is human. And he taught Hollywood that the ordinary can be the most terrifying of all. The next time you watch a character like Norman Bates, Leatherface, or Buffalo Bill,